All right. So we call this my career tour, or prior to COVID, we would have been meeting in person at my office and I would have been showing you around. And so the gift of Zoom has now allowed us to make friends all over the world and talk about the opportunity of real estate. And so my name is Rebecca Del Pozo, and I'm your host for the next, I don't know, maybe 40, 45 minutes max. And the reason that we're having this conversation is because I wish I would have had this conversation way, way, way back in the day. People are always curious about getting into real estate, but they don't always know how to get started. Maybe they don't have a mentor or a coach that they can attach to and say, teach me everything you know. So that's what this call is about. I've been with Keller Williams my entire real estate career, which started back in 2003. And over the years, I've been in all the different types of positions, whether it be an individual single agent. I've been a buyer's agent on a team. I've stepped into different leadership roles, whether it was productivity coach or trainer, investor of an office. And so what I love to tell people is you think you're getting into real estate for this reason, and then it just ends up being so much more. And it's a conversation that I'm passionate about having. So just to get to know me a little bit, like I said, my business partner, Erin, is with me here. And together with my husband, Mike, and Samantha, we serve the greater Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia area here in Washington State. Now, if you see the far away dots, like all the way out in Ellensburg, that's because my husband, Mike, drives a Prius. Not sure I would have gone all the way to Ellensburg, but real estate is something where once you get licensed in one state, you can actually sell real estate around the world. And we're going to get into that in just a moment. So just a couple fun facts. I'm a mom of three. Here are my three amazing kids, and my son recently got married. So there's my new daughter-in-law, Abby. I love the water, and I'm originally from Canada. So you have permission to make fun of me or snicker if you want. There will be a few words along the way that sound a little funny. I do have the bug for travel. So this picture over here on the left was before COVID, obviously. And my husband and I went down to Costa Rica. Keller Williams has an office in Costa Rica. And so I got to teach a class there for our fellow Keller Williams family. Now, here's the most important fact, fun fact. That's right, tater tots. I'm very passionate about tater tots. And so you need to know that if ever you're out and about and you see tater tots in some fun way represented on a menu, from this moment forward, you must take a picture, text it to me, and let me know where the tots are at. Okay. When I'm having a bad day, Mike's like, hey, guess what? We're having tots for dinner. Because he knows. So I'm curious, for all of our friends on the call today, drop in the chat what your go-to comfort food is. For some people, it's, nachos, tacos, or it could be ice cream, brownies, right? I'm not trying to make everyone hungry. I'm just giving you a fun fact into my life. And now I'd like to hear about yours. What's kind of your go-to comfort food? Okay, so let's see here. Pad Thai. Ooh, yes, double stuffed Oreo. Oh, good stuff. See, we've got a fun group of people here. This is good. Very good. Okay, so did I just skip a? No. Okay, there we go. So here's me. This is back in 2003. I received my very first real estate commission check. Look at this picture closely. Do you see how large of a computer monitor is on her desk? This is Anne. She's the first market center administrator who cut my very first real estate commission check. And this photo was taken on a digital camera because that's how old I am. Okay. Now, at the time, I was dyslexic, I still am, and ADHD, no college degree, no contacts in the area, no real estate experience other than I bought a house and it was not a good experience at all. I'm not good at math. And at the time I was at least $52,000 in debt, probably more. That's all I was willing to admit to. Okay. And what happens is people always say like, oh, I wish I would have gotten into real estate sooner, or, you know, I would get into real estate, but dot, 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 fill in the blank. These are what we call limiting beliefs. All the things, all the excuses, all the lies that I allowed to hold me back for too long. And so I'm curious, what are your limiting beliefs? Drop it in the chat because I'm sure you're not alone. Do you feel like you're too young? You don't have enough experience? Maybe you're too old and you've got too much experience. You're not techie, or you don't know how, or you don't feel smart enough or have the knowledge or experience. See, the thing is, we're all the same. Way too many of us allow these limiting beliefs to hold us back from believing that inside of us, we each and every one of us are created for greatness. And I always tell people, it's selfish of you. It's selfish of you not to grow. It's selfish of you not to get your real estate license and build this incredible big business that's going to care for people, because people need you. Do you have that fire inside you to one, acknowledge that there are people out there that are taking advantage of others in real estate on a daily basis? Because the answer is yes. And do you want to protect those people from being taken advantage of? If the answer is yes, then I can teach you everything else. But you've got to show up with that heart. You've got to show up with that passion that you want to serve people and you want to protect people, and you ultimately, genuinely, deep down want to care for people. If you show up with that, then we've got you covered on all the rest. So at our company, Keller Williams, our values are God, family, then business. Our mission is to create careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. See, all too many times people go to work and they love what they do, but it's not attached to their calling or what they feel their big why is, or it doesn't feel meaningful at the end of the day. And then they just get burnt out. And so one of the things that we believe is that you can have it all, that you can be passionate about the job that you're doing. It doesn't mean you're going to love it all the time, but ultimately, if you connect it to why you believe you're on this planet, and it's connecting to the passions and the ministries and the charities and the things that move your heart, that it will pull you through the not so fun days, right? So here's a fun fact about real estate. 1 out of 5 survive their first 2 years in real estate. 1 out of 5. That means everybody and their dog has probably thought about getting into real estate. However, only a few go and do the course study, pass the exam, hang their license, but then only 1 out of 5 survive. So why do you think this is true? If you're comfortable, you can unmute yourself, raise your digital hand, or if you want to drop it in the chat, we'll be monitoring that over the next couple of minutes. I'm just curious though, like, what are your guys' thoughts about this? Why do you think it's only 1 out of 5 survive? Go ahead and wave at me or unmute yourself and tell me. Not all at once. Awkward Zoom silence. Okay, maybe they're going in the chat and I just need to look. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Janelle. So the paperwork is overwhelming. Absolutely. That could be a very good reason, because TV shows that you just show houses and then people, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they don't show the hours of contract work that are happening behind the scenes. So that could be. People don't know how to get contacts to start. Absolutely. That could be. Lack of direction as to where to start, no support when getting started. Those are all true. Thank you for interacting and sharing. That's so true. Now, in the last 5 years, I've stepped into a leadership role. And by doing so, one of the things I've observed is that many people show up with passion, right? Like, I'm so excited. This is going to be the launch of my incredible life in real estate. And then when it comes to accountability and actually showing up, they're not learning based. They're not willing to be accountable. And they're lying to themselves and to other people. Like, as a coach, there are going to be times when we have uncomfortable conversation because I love you and because I care about you and because I have a few more years of experience than you. And so many times people get into real estate and they don't realize that it's actual work, that there's, paperwork where you're going to have to prepare these contracts and you're held to the same standard as a real estate attorney by filling in these documents. The other thing is financially, people have not had a conversation of realistic expectations, meaning that if you are used to going to a job and you clock in and you clock out and then you get a paycheck every 2 weeks, that doesn't happen in real estate. It's going to be a lot of output in the beginning. You're spending money on trainings, you're spending money on gas, you're spending money on some business cards and some signage. So you're spending money, but you're not actually making money within maybe the first couple of weeks. So the biggest factor that I've seen is accountability, and that they're not being realistic with money. So the good news is that out of Keller Williams offices, our success rate is 4 out of 5 succeed. We have a track record of success because we have a program called productivity coaching. And this is where new agents go into this coaching program, and there's different divisions that they cover. It's the contracts, the forms, then it's the how to talk to clients, what to say at an open house, how to follow up with people, how to build your data bank of business, which is contacts and phone numbers and names of people that you're going to follow up with in your pipeline. So we have this local training, then we have regional, then we have Zoom, and then we have international Keller Williams Connect, which is very similar to, imagine that it's like YouTube for real estate agents, top producing agents sharing with other agents how they've built a business. So what differentiates those who achieve at the highest level is mindset. You have to believe it's possible for you. Attitude, you have to show up and be willing to be accountable and be that person who doesn't know it all and say, what can you teach me, and stay in curiosity. And it's your ultimate approach to life. Like I said, if you've got that heart to care for people, and then you can partner that with some accountability and follow-up skills, they say that real estate is not about selling anything. It's about following a schedule and being accountable. We consult our clients, so there's no selling involved. Because here's the deal. If I show Chris a house, Chris is either going to like the house or not. I'm not going to be like, no, you really like this house, Chris. So my job is that I need to consult my clients, ask what's important to them, ask what they're looking for, and I become the matchmaker. I become the consultant. There's no hard selling in real estate. It's all about building relationships and following up with people and helping people get what they want. Now, the money side of real estate is what can become very discouraging for agents, especially in the beginning of launching into the business. It's commission sales. So we refer to this as the roller coaster of commission sales, because you could sell something and have a bunch of money. And as Gary Keller, our founder, says, you're high on the hog, because he's from Texas. And then all of a sudden you are low because you don't have any clients. And so then you're doing something that's going to and so there's this up and down and all around roller coaster. And what we found is that if you establish these 4 income streams right from the very beginning of your business, there's huge opportunity for you as a real estate agent. So let me explain. The only way that this is possible is because Keller Williams is the #1 real estate company in the world. We have over 180,000 agents who think this is a good idea. We're the world's largest army of real estate professionals. Because we're a company that's completely debt-free and we view our agents as business partners, we're not reporting to a board of directors, or, the agents are treated like shareholders here. And so, in my humble opinion, most real estate agents get focused like this on the very first square on the left-hand side of your screen. Local real estate sales. How many homes do I need to sell here in Washington to be able to make X number of dollars? And then I go hustle and try to find those people. But many times what happens is I don't have enough friends or family that are buying or selling or investing in real estate to help me hit my goals. So I got to go find more friends. And sometimes it's a numbers game and I don't know enough people. Now, the second box on the screen is agent to agent referrals, the worldwide division. What this is once you get licensed in one state, you are now licensed to refer business to another licensed agent anywhere in the world. So I sold a house in Everett, Washington. The attorney said, "Hey, good job on that. Can you sell vacant land, Rebecca?" And I said, "Sure, I can." He said, "Can you sell vacant land on Grand Cayman Island?" "Sure, I can." I was young and dumb. You say yes to every opportunity. So I'm like, "Sure, I can. Let me find out how I can do that." Well, when I looked, there were no Keller Williams agents yet on Grand Cayman Island. So I found a Coldwell Banker agent. I emailed him the parcel number of the piece of vacant land. I said, "Hi, my name's Rebecca. I'm here in Washington. Is this a real piece of land? If so, how much do you think it's worth? And would you be willing to share a referral fee with me?" So write down 25%. Write that down somewhere, 25%, or lock it into your memory. When I referred that vacant land piece of business to the agent on Grand Cayman, he sold that property, he received a commission check, and I then received 25% of that commission check earned as a thank you, and we call that a referral fee. There aren't many professions where this exists, and this is the ticket, you guys. So, I mean, we literally just sold a house here and our clients bought a house in Texas. Then there was another one, they sold a house in Olympia and we helped them buy a home in North Dakota. Well, we physically didn't, but an agent that we partnered with for the referral did. And on the buy side and on the sell side, we can receive 25% of the commission earned at a worldwide level. Then the third box on your screen is real estate investing. Show of hands, how many people have determined that the wealthiest of the world have become that way because of many times a real estate investment of some kind, right? And so we teach our agents how to do that. It's not just in theory, Chris, you should go and become a real estate investor. We actually host masterminds with top producing investors who have the lenders, have the property managers, have the handyman, have the carpet clean out guys, right? They've already got a team that is established and they're willing to share that information with you so that you yourself are not just going on appointments to say, should I list this home and help these people? But you're actually asking yourself, should I buy this house as an investment property? So you start to think like a real estate investor. And all of a sudden now you've got 3 income streams working for you. Now, the fourth box on the screen, the far right-hand side, is profit share. We have a program where we incentivize our agents to help spread the word about this company. And I'm curious if anybody on the call has ever worked anywhere where if you went and referred me to your company, that you got some sort of a bonus if I joined and became an employee. Like back in the day when I worked at Alaska Airlines, I worked at SeaTac, and if I said, you know, "Hey, Dale, you should come work at Alaska Airlines," and Dale got a job, and on his 91st day of on-the-job training, he survived it all, and he was now an employee of Alaska Airlines, I got a $200 bonus. So employers realize that when they are voted the happiest place to work, like Keller Williams agents are happier than Amazon, Nike. We've been voted and awarded all these different awards for happiest workers on the planet. Well, they can't help but tell their friends and family. And so profit share is a program where every single time that someone walks in the door and says, "I'm here because of this person who sponsored me into the company," Keller Williams takes note, and the ownership portion of profit, almost half of it is shared back to whoever grows the company. And so now all of a sudden you've got 4 income streams working for you so that the commission real estate roller coaster isn't so high and low. Now, a couple of these numbers are out of date right now. We're actually globally, we're at 180,000 agents that call Keller Williams home. And we have what we call the triple crown. We've got the most real estate agents in the world that sell the most amount of volume for the most amount of units sold as well. Here in Pierce County alone, Keller Williams Puyallup, the office that I work out of, is the #1 real estate office by listings sold, which means we've got the listings, which is opportunity for all of our agents to hold open houses at anybody's listing, to advertise and share anybody's listing so that you can generate more business. And that's many times the question of new agents is like, okay, great, I'll get into real estate, but then where am I going to get my leads from? Well, you borrow ours. So like I've got 3 listings right now all over, one in Renton, one down in Tacoma. You just say, hey, Rebecca, can I advertise this on social media? I say yes. Hey, Rebecca, can I hold an open house at your listing in Midland? I say yes. You go hold that open house, make new friends, write a contract, and now all of a sudden you leveraged our listings to help you grow your business. There's tons of ways that agents are building business because we share the business with each other. It's worldwide. So think about the friends that you have on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram. Do you have friends or family in other parts of the world? If the answer is yes, then you can be referring business. You can also be referring agents that want to join a Keller Williams office as well. One of the things we've seen over the last couple of years is people that have been in the business a while are moving their entire books of business to Keller Williams. Now, I consider myself the spoiled brat, right? Because that all I know is Keller Williams. I've never worked at another company. What I can tell you though, is other agents that have worked at other companies join Keller Williams and they're like, wow, these people are really friendly. Like, why is everybody so nice? Like, I thought real estate was cutthroat real estate sales. And that might be true elsewhere, but not here, not with us. And so you see people like Mike McCann moving a business that's 33 years old from another competitor company to Keller Williams. And then his business just skyrockets over the next few years. Same with Ryan Butler. You end up seeing these big names, top producing agents in all of Pierce County. If you go and see the multiple listing gives reports of where they all hang their license, it's at Keller Williams Puyallup, because one, we're teaching agents how to think like investors, and then they can't help but get excited about that. And then they share how they did it with others. And then it's a happy circle. Okay, so it's about training and coaching. And so we deliver a ton of training, and we've been voted #1 training company across all organizations, especially for adult learners. So someone like that has a learning disability like me actually enjoys learning in the way that they've structured it for us to be able to keep our attention, keep it short and sweet, and then go and become executable over, a short amount of time. So if you like to learn, you will absolutely love Keller Williams. If you're not one of those people that's like, oh, I took that class, check the box and move on to something else, and you're like the know-it-all, like the I know person, you probably won't like it with us. But if you're that person who stays in curiosity, asks a lot of questions, wants to learn and grow from other people, and you're just like, look, there's no point in reinventing the wheel. Here's someone who has what I want. I can just go ask them how they did it, and they're going to tell me, then you're going to absolutely love it. So let's talk about how a real estate agent gets paid. On the screen, I'm going to share with you now an example of a home, and we're just going to pretend that it's a $400,000 house, okay? So in real estate, they have what they call splits and caps and fees. So in this scenario, I'm going to show you what would happen if you represented a buyer who bought a house for $400,000. The commission coming in is a total of $12,000. If you're on a 70-30 split, which our agents with our office who are established are, 30% goes to the Keller Williams office, 70% is what you get to keep. So you'd make $8,400. Once this 30% totals $19,000, you're capped, which is exactly what it says. You're capped. You're not going to give the Keller Williams company ever anything more than $22,000 max. Now that sounds like a lot of money, but just listen to me for a sec. It breaks it down under the next line, which is Keller Williams Realty International franchise fee of 6%. But again, that caps at $3,000. So worst case scenario, you help a buyer buy a home for $400,000, you're going to make $7,680. Or you've already capped and you've met that, and it's going to be $12,000. Now the cap is on your anniversary year date of celebration. So it resets every single year. And it's the same for a brand new agent as a more established agent who's been with the company, which creates this amazing equal opportunity for all. So that's kind of the basics of what the split is, what a cap structure model is, and then let's talk about fees. So different brokerages will have desk fees. They call them desk fees because you have a desk in their office, they've got a brick and mortar building, and then you pay a fee. Here at Keller Williams, we don't have a desk fee. We have desks that you're welcome to come in and use anytime you want. We have private offices that you can pay extra for, but on average, it works out to about $110 a month that you're going to pay. And that's going to give you all your websites. That's going to give you your mobile app that's personalized and branded to you. That's going to give you access to the coaching, all the training. There's no additional cost or hidden fees by having this monthly fee of $110 that you pay, that everybody pays every single month, regardless of whether you've sold a house or not. So that's kind of the overview of the split, the cap, and then the fees. Every office is going to be a little different. And so I'm happy to connect you with a local office leadership contact if we need to get kind of down to the details of that. But just wanted to give you an overview. Okay, we're going to get to some questions and answers here. So how much does it cost to get started? Well, the good news is that it really doesn't cost a whole lot to get up and running. It's $459 to be able to start the 90 clock hour course. The 90 clock hour course is done online, and it's through video, and then videos that you watch, and then instructional information that you read. You pass the quizzes, you go to the cram, you pass the cram exam. Now you're ready. You've logged 90 clock hours. It releases the certificate, and now you can go take the state required exam. You have to pass the exam with 70%. And then you'll walk out, they'll tell you same moment right then and there, congratulations, you passed. They give you the slip of paper, and now you've got to hang it under somebody's umbrella. So that's where my job is, that if all this makes sense and you don't know someone in real estate already, I want to be the cheerleader that's going to help you make all that become a reality. And you walk into a Keller Williams office, and they say, who was most influential in you joining Keller Williams? And you're going to say, it's the person that referred me. It's Rebecca, or it's Aaron, or it's whoever. So $459 to get started for the course, $150 for the exam cost itself, and then $146.25 for the state of Washington to issue your license. Then every Keller Williams associate is a part of the National Association of Realtors. So we pay our dues every year, and that's going to be somewhere around $650 a year. And then we're all members of our local multiple listing service. And so here it's the Northwest MLS. And so $240 is what I pay to be a member there for the year. And that gives me access to all the listings, all the forms, all the contracts and documents that I need to run my business. Question number 2. What if I don't pass the first time? Well, Rockwell is an affiliated school of mine because they have a 92% pass rate. Like, if this dyslexic ADHD test anxiety stricken girl can figure it out, you can too. The cram course that they give you is multiple choice. It's almost identical to what you're going to take on the state exam. Like, sometimes I wonder if somebody just paid a brother off somewhere and said, hey, you know, here's what's going to be on the exam, because the cram is definitely that. It's going to prepare you. So if I can do it, you can do it. And if you don't pass, you just take it again, and you take it again, and you take it again until you pass the silly thing. Because the reality is the rest of your life is on the other side of that exam. And I've got friends that it took 9 times to pass the exam, and we cried and celebrated. Imagine the tenacity in a human being that failed 8 times before she passed. You're not telling me that she's got this incredible real estate business that's blowing up now because of the passion that fuels her every single day. So don't freak out about the exam. You'll pass it. And I always tell people too, like when you go have surgery, do you ask the surgeon what his test score was on his final exam? Like nobody asks the question, like, what was your exam, well, it's 70. It was 70% to pass. This is a simple answer. Okay, number 3. What is South Sound referrals only? So this is unique to my office here in Puyallup. You can keep your day job and get your real estate license and not activate it fully, meaning you don't show houses, you don't write contracts, you just have this slip of paper and you just refer the business out to other agents and receive those 25% referral fees. It's $100 a year. And it's a way to be able to create a side hustle and just literally keep your day job and then start kind of saving up and building up an account so that then you can launch into real estate full-time once you have the money. How much can I make in my first year of real estate? Well, that's a great question. Our rookie of the year on average is making about $150,000 to $190,000 in their first year of real estate, which is incredible. I don't know what other job you can get into and have that kind of income almost instantly. And the way that real estate works is you don't have to jump into it 100% right off the bat. Like that'd be foolish in my opinion. Like if you've got bills to pay and mouths to feed, you need to keep your day job. We'll help you transition into real estate. We'll help you get your license, train you up, and you can start doing it part-time. But I don't tell people that they need to like get into real estate full-time in order to succeed. That's just simply not true. When I went through an unexpected, life, I went through an unexpected divorce and I ended up a single mom of 3. I took another job full time and did real estate part time and still sold like 30 homes that year. So real estate is something that you can do part time and it can really go well with whatever else you're doing. Like we've got incredible educators, teachers that teach during the school year and are real estate agents because they love to teach. However, teaching doesn't really pay the bills all that well, but it's their passion. So they use real estate to be able to fund the passion that they have. And they never have intentions of getting into real estate full time because they love to teach. So the same can go for you. Keep your day job, get your real estate license, and then we can help you with a transition into real estate full time if you want, or we can help you build a personalized business plan for you, for your life, your story based on your finances, so that we can help you go after those goals. Number 6, what if I'm an introvert and not a crazy salesperson like Rebecca depicts herself right now? So the reality is real estate is an incredible business for everyone. You come to real estate with all of your knowledge and experience and your past life, right? Whether it be that you're a pilot, whether it be that you're a barista, whether it be that, you were an engineer at Boeing, whatever your background is, you bring to real estate. And then we show you utilizing a tool called the Keller personality assessment. It's a quiz that you take specifically about real estate. And it helps you identify your strengths so that we can function in that strength zone as much as possible. It doesn't mean you're not going to have to do things you don't enjoy. And it means that you can really kind of get into that zone of things that you like. Like for me, when I launched my business, I like to talk. Hello. And I like people. So open houses was it. I threw a party, AKA open house, and people came. It was awesome. I made friends. We swapped numbers. I followed up with them. I found other houses for them. I started writing offers. And so that was a great fit for my personality. Other people enjoy being on the phone. Other people set up websites and just generate leads online. Other people enjoy social media and Facebook Lives or Instagram Reels. It's up to you, but we're going to help you identify who you are, what your strengths are, and then how we then incorporate that into your real estate business. Now, Erin, who was on the call earlier, she's a licensed real estate agent, but she's never sold a home. She's a licensed real estate agent. She's the director of operations of our business. She refers business and receives referral fees. She has a salary that she's paid monthly, and she's a real estate agent, but that's not what they show on TV. And so real estate is so much more. Okay, so we need to connect. And after our time together now, I trust that you've heard and felt and seen the passion that I have for this. I've seen it change my life. I got out of debt. I was able to think like a real estate investor. I was able to build a business. And now I see my son buying a triplex at 23 years old. You're not telling me that I'm excited and fired up about this? I can't help but just wake up and go, okay, other people need to do this, because the reality is, once you start to build generational wealth, you look up and you look at the world in a different way. Imagine seeing a need and being able to just write a check and meet it and be that extravagant giver for whatever the charity is that moves you. Real estate has the opportunity to fund that life. And so whether it's getting out of debt, whether it's buying a different home, whether it's becoming a real estate investor, we can show you how to create multiple income streams to be able to fund the things that you want to do in life. So the first step is get started. And I'm going to drop the link for Rockwell in the chat before we jump off this call. That's $459 to get started. Set a goal and then email me your goal so that I can cheer you on. Okay, because your brain needs to know there's an end to the madness of the memorization that you're going to have to get ready to do on this exam. It's like you're learning a new language, right? The language of real estate, all the terms, all the definitions. So I'll cheer you on and give you tips and tricks to be able to go in and pass that exam. Number two, oh, there it is. Keep me posted on your progress. Number three, start working on your launch letter list now. So when I got into real estate, someone told me to do this, and I hosted a barbecue in my backyard, and it was a home buyer's barbecue. Are you thinking about buying a home in the next 3 to 5 years? Come to my free barbecue. I'll feed you. I had a loan officer there. I invited my neighbors and friends and coworkers, and we launched my real estate business. And from that one barbecue, I ended up selling 4 homes. And they've become repeat clients over the years. So I want you to start thinking and open a Word document and just start jotting down the names and numbers and addresses and phone numbers of people that you would send that announcement letter to. Friends, family, coworkers, people that worked for you, people that you worked for, your neighbors. Where are the neighborhoods that you want to dominate as a real estate agent? We can help you get those lists of names and addresses, but you've got to start on your own friends and family list first. And then as we go, we have programs that will teach you how to build a business. It's called Ignite. It's like boot camp for real estate agents. It's the baby steps to building your real estate business that will teach you how. So don't worry about all the how, just worry about the who. And we want to be the who that will show you the how. All you've got to do is show up and say, this is something I want to do, and I'm going to get started. And here we go. So my email address is on the screen, RebeccaD@kw.com. Please feel free to reach out and friend me on Facebook. You can like our Facebook business pages. Any moms on the call, we have a Millionaire Real Estate Moms group that we started where I show up and do a ton of training. At my website, RebeccaDelPozo.com, you'll see a ton of classes and trainings that even before you're licensed, you can come and attend on Zoom and start getting familiar with. And I'd love to be able to open it up now and just see if there's any questions, comments. I'd love to hear if maybe there's something that you've learned in the last few minutes together that maybe you didn't know before this call about real estate. You can unmute yourself, raise your hand, or drop it in the chat. Tell me one thing that you learned over the last 45 minutes that maybe you didn't know before our call. Let me check the chat here. And are fees tax deductible, Ryan? Good question. Absolutely. Because you're a business owner, you're going to have estimated quarterly taxes you're putting aside as a business owner. I can give you the name and number of my trusted CPA who specializes in taxes for real estate agents, because many of those things will be tax deductible. It's continuing education and everything. Obviously, I'm not a tax preparer, so that's my disclaimer, but I'm happy to connect you with someone who knows. And I'm just looking here. So do you accept other real estate courses? Great question. Absolutely. If you're already enrolled in another school, totally fine. I've had a ton of people come in and pass and get their coursework done with other affiliated schools that are approved through the state of Washington, and that's absolutely okay. I've just found that, especially over the last 5 years, a lot of times people will go and do another course that's cheaper than Rockwell, and then they don't pass the first time. And because it's like $138.25 every single time you pass the exam, by the time you do it twice, you should have just done Rockwell in the first place, if that makes sense, right? Okay, so Sarah says, I didn't realize you could be successful starting out part-time. That's encouraging. So that's good. Awesome. What else have you guys learned? I'd love to hear kind of if there's something that maybe you didn't know about real estate before our time together. And yes, I will be recording this and sharing it with everybody afterwards, so you can watch it back if you want. Awesome. Okay. Okay, questions now. You don't have like ahas learned about real estate fee. Oh, referral fees. Okay, thanks, Ryan. So that's a good one. So you didn't know about the worldwide referral option. And that's been a cool one because, you know, here's the reality is like every month we're in sales. So there's a sales meeting and they give out the sales awards, right? Like, ooh, you sold the most houses or whatever, which is great. And we celebrate. But I'll be honest with you, there are months where I don't get an award and I am happy as a clam because I made more money passively than I did in selling a home because of referrals or because of investments or because of profit share. And so I think sometimes agents get into this business and it's this whole comparison thing where they're like, oh, this, you know, agent, whatever. It's like, it's you, it's your life, it's your business, you're designing it. You have to, we have this one exercise that we do. It's called your freedom number. Imagine that you create passive income so much so that when you wake up, we call it wake up money. You wake up and the money is there on the first of the month and it pays for all of your monthly living expenses and bills. Imagine how that would feel. Let me see what your faces would look like if that's what it was. Right? We call that the freedom number. So each one of you, when we have a private conversation, that's what we're going to talk about. I'll say, okay, guys, what's your freedom number? Well, in order to answer that question, I have a little spreadsheet that I give you to fill out, which says, what are your expenses? How much do you currently make doing what you do? Because the reality is that's where 90% of the population lives, is their income is attached to doing. I have to go do this to then receive this. But ultimately, as we get older, we want that to be less and less, right? We just want money to start making us money. And that's how we teach you to think as investors, as wealth builders, that you can wake up because you have investment properties, because you have this other passive income that's working for you to create that wealth that covers all of your bills. So now we get to work because we like it, not because we have to. And the gift that I've received over the last 5 years in particular is the joy that I find in helping other people do this. And so as one of the trainers for Keller Williams University, I get to zoom into all the different Keller Williams offices and teach about profit share and teach about investing and teach about how this girl that had like phobia about money and numbers and math and all those things, like if I can do this, here are the ways that I mentally was able to overcome these hurdles. What are yours? Let's put a business plan together for you and make it a reality. So Ryan, work for things that work for you. That's so good. Well said. Awesome. Okay, well, any other questions for me? Otherwise, I'm gonna pause this recording as always. Oh, let me send the links real quick through chat. So rebeccadelpozo.com is my website. And then there's a bunch of different tabs for teaching, for getting started in real estate. You're welcome to check that out. And then you can't minimize Zoom while recording. Okay, so then what I would suggest is Rockwell for Washington and California. If you just Google Rockwell real estate class, you'll see it will say Washington State brokers. And then I'm happy to send out the link when we send this recording out to everybody as well. So the first step is that when you start that course, you want to knock it out in like 30 to 60 days max, like 90 at the most, because your brain, I don't know about you, the older I get, the harder it is to learn, the harder it is to memorize and retain. And so if you start the course, you better have your calendar blocked off with little like, I'm committing to do this many hours a day until I've knocked out that 90 clock hours. And I'm going to make the goal that I'm going to set end of October. I'm going to take my real estate exam and pass it and call and celebrate with Rebecca. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for jumping on today. As always, I'm happy to do one-on-one conversations with everybody so that, you know, you've got specifics. I've talked a lot. And so if you have these things rolling around that you want to go over in detail, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'll put my email, rebeccad@kw.com, and my cell number. You're welcome to call or text me. I'd love to be able to cheer you on and get you started on your real estate journey. So hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.